Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real today. Men, yeah, we act tough, we act strong, we act like we've got it all figured out. But truth is, a man never truly understands the depth of his feelings until he loses the woman who had the strength to walk away. The woman who let him go not out of hate, but out of love for herself. That's the kind of woman who stays in his soul. See, when a woman stops chasing and starts choosing peace, that's when a man starts to chase what he once took for granted. A man might not value what's his until he sees her silence speaking louder than her words ever did. And that silence, it haunts him. Because the moment she lets go, he starts to realize she wasn't holding him back, she was holding him up. Men realize the value of a woman only after she lets go. It's a truth that plays out in silence, in regret, and in the spaces between memories. When a woman gives her heart, she gives it fully. She nurtures, she believes, she stands by him even in his flaws. But when that same woman chooses to walk away, it isn't because she stopped loving him. It's because she finally started loving herself more. And that's when everything changes for the man. See, men often mistake a woman's patience for permanence. They think she'll always be there, waiting, forgiving, understanding. But the moment she walks away, that illusion shatters. He starts to remember her laughter, the way she believed in him when no one else did, the softness in her voice, and the strength in her silence. Every memory becomes a mirror showing him what he lost while he was too busy taking her for granted. It's only in her absence that he begins to understand her presence. The things he once overlooked become priceless. The messages she sent, the care she gave, the peace she brought. He starts to realize she wasn't just a part of his life. She was the heart of it. And that realization doesn't fade. It stays with him, echoing in the quiet moments when he wishes he could go back, when he wishes he had treated her right. Because the truth is, men fall deepest, not for the woman who stays through everything, but for the one who had the strength to leave when he thought she never would. That's the woman he never forgets. The one who walked away not to hurt him, but to heal herself. And in that act, she taught him the greatest lesson of all, what real love truly means. Silence speaks louder than words when love is unappreciated. There comes a moment when words lose their meaning, when explanations, arguments, and tears no longer have the power to change anything. A woman who has been unheard, misunderstood, or taken for granted eventually stops speaking. Not because she has nothing to say, but because she finally understands that silence holds more power than her voice ever did. That silence becomes her strength, her boundary, her message. And when she chooses silence, it shakes a man more deeply than any fight or conversation ever could. Men often confuse a woman's silence for indifference, but it's far from that. Her quietness is the loudest cry he will ever hear. It's the sound of exhaustion from trying to be seen, the end of pleading for recognition, and the beginning of self-respect. When she no longer argues, it's not that she agrees, it's that she's done proving her worth to someone who never valued it. That silence echoes in his mind. It follows him in the still moments, in the spaces where her voice once filled the air with love, care, and laughter. Now there's only quiet, and in that quiet he feels the weight of what he's lost. He begins to remember every time she spoke with love and he didn't listen. Every time she reached out and he turned away. Her silence becomes the mirror reflecting his mistakes, and he can't escape it. That's when realization hits. It wasn't her words he needed, it was her presence. And now that she's silent, her absence says everything. Her silence becomes the most powerful statement of all, that she no longer needs to explain her worth to anyone who failed to see it. Letting go is a woman's act of self-respect, not revenge. When a woman decides to walk away, it's rarely an impulsive choice. It comes after countless moments of giving, forgiving, and hoping things will change. She reaches a point where she realizes that holding on is hurting her more than letting go ever could. That moment, though painful, becomes her awakening. She's not trying to prove a point, not trying to make him regret. She's simply choosing herself for the first time in a long time, And that choice is one of the most powerful forms of self-respect there is. It takes strength to stay, but it takes greater courage to leave when love stops being peaceful. Letting go doesn't mean she stopped caring. It means she refused to keep losing herself, trying to save someone else. Her departure isn't punishment. It's freedom. It's her saying, I deserve peace more than I deserve pain. Too often, people confuse a woman's strength with coldness, but the truth is it's love that made her stay, and it's respect for herself that made her go. For the man, her decision to let go hits differently. He begins to see that she wasn't walking away in anger, she was walking toward healing. Her strength becomes his mirror, showing him the kind of love he didn't protect. And while he may look for her in others, no one will carry the same grace, the same calm, or the same kind of heart she had, because a woman who lets go out of self-respect doesn't close her heart. She simply closes the chapter that no longer honors her worth. And that act alone turns her pain into power, her tears into wisdom, and her silence into peace. A man falls deepest when he understands what he lost. In the beginning, he might think he can move on easily, convincing himself that he'll find someone else, that love will come again. But over time, when the noise fades and the reality of her absence sets in, that's when the truth hits. He starts to realize that the woman he took for granted was the one who gave him peace, balance, and unconditional love. The small things he one look become the memories that won't leave his mind. The way she laughed, the way she cared for him, the way she believed in him when no one else did. Those moments replay like a movie he can't stop watching, except this time the ending hurts. When a man truly understands what he's lost, he doesn't just miss her presence. He misses the way he felt when he was with her. He remembers how she made him a better version of himself, how her patience softened his rough edges, how her words inspired him to dream bigger. But now, all that's left is silence and the weight of regret. That's when love becomes real to him. When it's gone, he may try to fill the void with distractions, but nothing compares. Every new connection feels empty because it lacks the depth she brought into his life. And slowly, he realizes that she wasn't just another woman. She was the one who saw him beyond his flaws, who loved him even when he didn't love himself. That realization humbles him, changes him, and stays with him. Because when a man truly understands what he's lost, he learns that love like hers doesn't come twice. It's rare, pure, and unforgettable, and losing it becomes his greatest lesson. True strength in love comes from knowing when to walk away. It's one of the hardest decisions a person can make, to leave someone they still love. But sometimes love isn't enough when it starts to cost you your peace, your happiness, and your sense of self. Strength isn't holding on tightly to something that's breaking you. It's having the courage to let go even when your heart still wants to stay. Walking away doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing to protect your soul from pain that no longer serves your growth. Many people mistake endurance for strength. They think staying in a situation that drains them shows loyalty. But real strength is quiet. It's found in the calm acceptance that not everything or everyone is meant to go the full journey with you. When you walk away, you're not just leaving someone behind, you're reclaiming the power to love yourself again. You're saying, I deserve more than this hurt. That realization is where healing begins. For a man watching a woman find that strength, it's often a moment of deep awakening. He sees that her decision to leave isn't rooted in anger or pride, it's in self-respect. She isn't walking away to prove something, she's walking away because she finally remembers who she is. That kind of strength is unforgettable. It leaves an impression deeper than words, deeper than time. And though he might not understand it in that moment, later he realizes that her choice to walk away was the purest form of love. Love for herself and even love for him. Because sometimes stepping away is the only way to teach someone what real love, value, and strength truly look like. The woman who lets go becomes unforgettable. There's something powerful about a woman who has the strength to release what no longer values her. even when her heart still feels attached. She's not cold, she's wise. She's not bitter, she's healed. Her love was real, but so was her pain. And when she finally decides to walk away, she doesn't do it with anger, she does it with grace. That's what makes her unforgettable. Because it's not just her beauty or her words that stay with a man. It's her strength, her calm, her peace after the storm. He'll remember how she once believed in him, how she poured herself into his world, and how she stayed even when she had every reason to leave. But most of all, he'll remember the day she finally did. Not out of hate, but because she realized she deserved more. That moment becomes the turning point in his memory. The day he lost not just a woman, but the one who truly saw him. He may try to replace her, but no one else will carry her energy, her loyalty, her quiet confidence. Time will pass and life will go on, but there would always be moments that bring her back to his mind. A familiar scent, a song, a word, suddenly, he's reminded of her strength and the love she gave so freely. She becomes the standard he unconsciously compares others to, the one who taught him that real love doesn't beg, doesn't chase, it simply is. And when it's gone, it leaves a void that nothing can fill. That's why the woman who lets go becomes unforgettable, not because she left, but because she walked away with dignity, leaving behind a love too rare to ever be replaced.